Well, thank you very much. Welcome to the BioClean Unfiltered podcast. I am so excited to have these two guests here with me. They are my filming ride or dies. I think every idea I want, they just make it happen. So Brian Harmon, Sam Harmon, thank you for coming on here with Snohomish Film Company. I have to mention that.
Thanks for having us on this side of the camera.
I'm really excited. You guys are so helpful in my business and have been helpful since I've met you, Brian, at NBC, our breakfast. And it's just, I feel like it's going to be really valuable to anyone that wants to invest in film in their business and why they should invest in film and do, these creative things. So I want to start off just so people can get to know you both. How did you guys get into the filming business? Let's start with that.
What a fun story.
Sam, do you want to go?
It really started with you.
Yeah, I studied film in college in Southern California, graduated in 2015. And since then, all of my jobs since then have had video production involved in them in some way. I first worked at a marketing agency as their video person. I worked at a church as a video director there for a while. I worked in live video production there as well. And then I moved from that to a startup where I was a content director. So I wasn't creating as much content as I was just managing teams of people who were making stuff. And then throughout that entire time was just really feeling like what I was doing, I think the video that I was making at the places that I was before just wasn't resonating with me. And I felt like if it's not resonating with me, how's it resonating with the audience that's watching it? And so I just thought that there was a new way to do video that wasn't as cold or like marketing driven. There's like story and empathy and stuff behind film that can just make it so much more compelling. And so when the startup that I was involved with went under, we were sort of at a crossroads, and I was talking to Sam a lot just about like, I either need to like do what I love about video production and film production, or keep it as a hobby and just do something else.
Right.
But I was like pretty convicted. I was like, I think the way that I see video will work. And so
what was your inspiration into taking that leap into a business? I mean, was it just empathy, having that creative process in that way, or was it just, I'm going to go into business and I don't want to work for anyone else anymore? But what inspired that?
I don't think we ever saw ourselves in this position where we were running our own business. I think part of it was, just Brian's skill and his love for video and storytelling, but then also just like the circumstances too of kind of what led us to this point, which is, I guess, a big part of our story.
Yeah. It was sort of this moment of just like, we have to choose one or the other. And Sam is very good at telling me that like, hey, you're going to get really frustrated if you don't do this. Like, you're always going to want to tell stories and make films.
That's
and so
awesome.
just like, go for it.
Go
after it.
Yeah.
So we started full time in April of last year, doing video, and I was giving it the summer. I was like, if we can't make this work in the summer, then I'll find another job. And by the end of the summer, we were like booked full time for doing.
Well, when I met you at NBC at the breakfast, what really caught me was that we had similar interests in how we wanted to portray things. And a lot of it was like taking that story and having the emotions in it and the empathy and compassion and all those things that go along with storytelling. And I think it's rare to find a film company that, I don't know, I haven't met very many, but in my own experience, that has that creative process of taking emotions like that and really creating a story. And I feel like people really resonate with that. I mean, do you guys feel that people are really coming to you wanting to do those kinds of stories as well?
Yeah, that's resonating with a lot of the people we're talking with, which is interesting because a lot of the people I was looking to as like, how should we structure our business? A lot of them were just like chasing virality, or all the ads I saw was like, here's why you're only getting a few hundred views per video or whatever.
So much about views.
And it's all about like hacking the algorithm, or like basically like manipulating people or audiences into watching your content. And I'm just like, that's not what I'm about. Like a mantra that we say a lot with clients is we chase value over virality. And if you chase that consistently, you'll attract the audience that you want to talk to.
Yeah.
Which is exactly your target demo is like.
I love that. And I learned that from you. I always thought it was about being viral. I thought about, followers, I got that. But really, a lot of followers aren't interested in a lot of things that I post, to be honest. And then the ones that are interested in things that I've been posting are the ones that actually matter to me too. And so that's a really good point for anyone that's listening, having that emotion and thoughts coming into this is that really it's not about being viral. Yeah.
And like a lot of our clients, they're not the only person doing what they do in their field. So like, I mean, you guys are a little bit more of a, unicorn in that like not everyone does like death mitigation, like or drug, drug mitigation. Right. So it is a bit more unique. And so you get to share that really unique side of your business. But a lot of people, it's like, there's 100 roofing companies in a 20 square mile radius. And how are you going to stand out? You can like be all flashy and do all this stuff to like trick people into watching your stuff, or you can just talk about what makes you different and what your values are. And then because you're talking about who you are, you're going to attract people who like that about you.
Yeah.
And then you have loyal customers.
Like with Brian with roofing in our group, you did some amazing videos for him that you would never think a roofing company would look like that. Right. You know what I mean? With their projects. Usually it's like, I did a roof and it was great and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, next. But that was actually pretty great.
And I think that's the other part of it too, is that people maybe who are in the example of a roofing company, when they're looking for someone to do their roof, maybe they're not necessarily thinking, I'm going to find someone and really connect with their story, or like connect with maybe a previous customer of theirs that had a really great experience.
Right.
And I think it's like surprising for people to be like, wow, I didn't expect to connect with like a roofing company's video, but through the story that just like fostered that connection. And also like builds trust, right? And so that's a huge part of what we want to help businesses do too, is just like help build trust with your company, because again, there's so many people doing a lot of the same things out there. And how can you stand out not only in the way that you connect with people, but that trust that you're building is like so important.
I mean, how hard has it been going from different industries, different companies filming? I mean, you have to put a different hat on every time. How do you keep yourself really grounded by doing that? Because with us, you are on our drug jobs, you've been on our death jobs, and then you go to Levi with his contracting and then roofing, and then you do so many community events around here as well. I mean, how do you put those different hats on?
In my last job, when I was working at a church, I think I filmed, I counted at one point, I think it was like 175 people's story videos.
Wow.
So I sat with hundreds of people to hear their story. Oh my
gosh, that's experience.
To sit with them. And it's interesting because when you do that with so many people, and like the most important thing that I had when I was sitting with those people was like, I have to be present with them. Like if I'm messing with cameras or messing with microphones and so interested in the production of it and not present with the person, they're not going to share their story or feel comfortable to share their story. And so over the course of those years, I think I've gained a skill of being able to just sit with people and listen to them. It's like part therapist, part filmmaker almost.
Seriously.
In a lot of ways. And so I'm big on mantras. I really like alliteration.
He has a lot of those.
I love it. Okay.
But another one that I have is presence over production. I really want to be present with people. I really want to like make them feel like they can be themselves when they're surrounded by gear. And so when I just focus on that, where it's just like, hey, this is just a person who has a story to tell and I want to tell it well, then it allows me to really go into any industry, any profession, and do what I do best, which is sharing their story.
That's so helpful, because I feel that when you are around, I do feel that like you're here, you're listening, you really want to be involved, and as opposed to other experiences I've had where let's just film it. Let's go. We got this. We'll edit it. We'll edit it later. Where I feel like you really want to capture something and capture people in their moments. So I feel like that's super important, especially when you're trying to hire someone to do film and do sensitive content like that you really do understand what you're filming. So do you have a favorite like type of filming that you do? Like, I know you do weddings. Is that your is there a favorite, or are they all different? I mean, what is your choice? Oh, not choice. Do you have a favorite?
I think.
What are the favorites that you've seen that we've done?
Well, because again, and I like to clarify in terms of like Brian is the filmmaker, I'm more in the business manager like position. And so for me, like, I think just seeing Brian on a set or working with a team is just like my favorite part of it, because I think that's where he really thrives. But he's mentioned recently just about, because we're in the thick of wedding season right now, just how fun it is to work weddings, even though they're really long days, because it's the closest to like film school that he's gotten since that experience, because of just the team aspect. And we've just met so many people throughout, you know, the time doing this, in the community that are, you know, different, own different businesses, are different wedding vendors, all those different things. Those relationships really are like my favorite part.
Sure.
But you're boots on the ground filming. So.
Yeah. I mean,
but you're catching like these close moments, these moments that people are never going to forget. Like you're capturing these memories.
Yeah.
I can tell with your, like, when you do your wedding, when I see what you're doing, you guys really enjoy it. A lot of people are like, oh, it's such a long day. I have to deal with all these people and weddings are hard because emotions are high. But you know, you guys seem to handle it really well.
Yeah, I love it. And what you said, Sam, is so true. It's such a collaborative experience. Helping someone with their wedding day is such a collaborative experience. And there are vendor teams that I've worked with that are just amazing. Like everyone is for each other. Everyone's on the same team and like lifting each other up. And those are some of the most fun things to do, is because you're working with people who are all on each other's side. There are weddings that I've done that wasn't the case.
Yeah,
and
of course.
then those vendors get on my naughty list.
Yes.
I'm like, okay.
He comes home really late and is telling me all the stories. I'm like,
so made the list.
I'm sure Brian has a lot of stories.
Yeah,
there's some rough ones. But then, there's other, you know, like you said, Rhea, telling stories that are timeless is just some of the most fun and meaningful work that I get to do. You know, there's a farm here in Snohomish that's been around for over 100 years now, third generation farm. And I was able to make a documentary about their story and their journey. And it's just like, you know, Jake Thomas, who is going to be taking over the farm over the coming years. He's like, it's so cool that we have this legacy sort of cemented in video form that we can look back on as the years go on. And as
so true.
You know, his kids will grow up, they get to see this moment in time of their family farm. And so
I bet you had fun doing that.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Wow. So someone that is listening right now that wants to invest in a wedding video, will have a film company come in. What is an advice you can give right now as far as how to be prepared for this decision and what needs to happen?
Yeah. Weddings are so expensive.
Yes.
And I feel so bad.
And I know someone's listening right now, like, I'm not spending thousands of dollars for this, but why should they? I mean, and if they do, what's the best advice you can give them to get prepared for this?
Yeah. I think it's, you know, focus on what matters when you're budgeting for your wedding. The weddings that I've seen where the couple is just the most happy, the most comfortable, the most just like at ease are the ones who trust the work to the professionals and are there just to enjoy the day.
Yes.
They're like, you take care of the stuff and we're just going to be here to be present with our guests and enjoy the moment and all that. The couples that want to do it themselves and they want to have, my maid of honor is going to be the planner and my uncle is going to be the videographer. And then I have a friend from college who's going to do photography.
That was me on my wedding day.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
And it creates so much more stress for the couple.
Yes.
And so you're not able to be present. You're just thinking about, what about this? Or, what about that? And then it's on you to fix all the things or your maid of honor, you know, your right-hand person who's supposed to be with you is now running around trying to put out fires and all this stuff. And so, the couples who can really like release that control to someone that they trust, that's my biggest advice. And usually, especially when you're in the wedding world and you find someone who can refer you to other people, like they have their team of people that they trust that will pull off your wedding day well. And so that's what I would say.
You work with a lot of vendors. You've met, you're part of groups, wedding. What's that group that
the Snohomish Wedding Guild?
Yes, I saw that. It's amazing. So it's really important then to have good vendors and working with them and really, and you obviously have some you could recommend and a ton being part of this organization. How has that helped your business by being part of this?
we don't advertise for wedding videography other than social media and on our website. And our calendar is full of weddings. And that is like such a huge testament to our relationships that we built with the guild and all of the vendor relationships that we have. And also just a testament to Brian and the way that he works as a team with everyone. Because we are being referred constantly to couples by the planners, by photographers, by DJs, by, venues, so many. And there's so many venues and vendors just here in Snohomish. Like,
Snohomish is popping in weddings, farms and everything.
Literally, within a 10-mile radius.
Yeah. And so again, anyone listening that is trying to get into this industry of weddings, it's important to be a part of this guild around Snohomish.
Definitely.
Someone, I think it was Nancy with the Chamber of Commerce here. She said something to me that I didn't even realize I was doing it, but she was like, you guys are serving before you're selling. And again,
I love that. Another mantra, Brian.
It's another mantra that I'm just like, I'm just going to connect with that. We're just going to list all these out.
List this down and I list them back.
Yeah, but she said that to me and I was like, wow, like that is, we're here, we named ourselves Snohomish Film Company.
And that's what we do too. I love that.
Yeah. Because we want to serve our community. We want to bring value to it and we want to make it into a business. And so, we're not going into it purely just to make a lot of money. We're going into it because we want to make our community
But look, it's coming back to you though too by doing that. And I hope people are listening are understanding that. I feel like that's the way businesses should be ran, community first.
Exactly.
But most of the time it's money first, right?
Totally.
But it's not. I feel like with example of your business, it's just coming back to you 10 times. So that's amazing.
Yeah. So anyone starting out in the wedding world or in any world, like starting a business, is like find out ways that you can serve your community.
Totally.
Get invested in the people that you're serving because it'll change the way you even think about your business, regardless of what you do.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to go into some couple questions. My favorite part of this. So, what I wanted to ask too, I'm really curious too. How do you stay inspired and continue growing creatively as a couple? Because you guys have small children. You have a life, right? Other than this. How do you guys continue to grow together and be creative?
It's a great question.
I try.
I don't know. I think, again, like I mentioned earlier, like this is, at least for me, this is not something that I necessarily saw us doing, especially at this point in our life with 2 young children. Kind of how it happened when it happened. But I think it's brought us definitely closer together because we have like gone through like so much and just trying to navigate this running a business. How do we do this? Neither of us went to school for this, we're just kind of figuring it out along with a lot of others.
Business school, how to run a business in general, right? Like all of us. It's like, let's just do it and see what happens.
On the fly. And so much of that goes back to the relationships. So many people that we've surrounded ourselves with are amazing, business-minded people that have really helped us. But also like, YouTube is great too for how do I do my taxes?
Totally. Yes.
But I think it's helped us to become closer just as a couple, but also we've grown so much as like business owners. And I think too, just like because we've surrounded ourselves with so many like amazing people who are just like so much smarter than us and like also just have like so much creativity. I feel like inspired just by the community and the relationships that we've built. Like whenever we go to like a Chamber of Commerce meeting or a guild meeting for weddings or whatever, like we just come back and we're like, wow, like so many people are doing so many amazing things. And like, how can we partner with people to do maybe this type of like event? Or how can we, I don't know, just kind of bring more awareness to this amazing group of people. And I feel like that helps keep me, inspired and thinking creatively business wise.
Because film is a creative job and you have to have that mind space to still have those thoughts, those creative processes and stuff. So that's really important. I love how you said about relationships. That's so true. So true.
Yeah. I don't think creativity can happen when you're like comfortable. I think the best artists stay uncomfortable, or they put themselves in situations where they're uncomfortable. And so that's a tough one, because you want to be sustainable. You don't want to burn yourself out, but you also want to be creative.
Yeah.
And so how do you balance the two? And I think when you're running a business and you're like, well, we can't pay our mortgage unless we have clients,
Right.
It's important.
it creates a need that you have to fill. And so that creates, for me, it creates creativity, or creative problem solving. And so I think that's a big one for me, is just like staying like hungry, or like putting myself in positions where I have to like take care of ourselves or others, helps that creative edge.
Sure. Yeah. Because when you say that balance, how are you guys balancing so far? And and you said your relationship, you gotten closer. I know it's hard to work with a spouse, but how are you both balancing all of that?
Yeah. That's the $1 million question right there.
Right. Same.
I think something interesting about our story too is that we've actually like worked with each other longer than I think we haven't worked with each other.
Yes.
Our very first job, like in high school, we worked at the same retail store.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Shout out Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin Crafts. Monroe.
So you've been working since together.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had that job together, and then our previous job at our church was an overlap of at least 6 years or so. And so this is like definitely not a new thing for us to be working together, working this closely for sure, because we were on different teams at those jobs. But I think it's just been really interesting. Like, I think we've learned a lot more about each other too. And I think when you're learning something really new as well together, kind of just like starting from the ground up, it's just sort of like, okay, some days we kind of just look at each other and we're like, what are we doing? What is going on? Like, how do we do this?
Yeah.
And then other days, like, we feel more confident and
we got this. Yeah.
But yeah, the balance thing, I think, is probably just the thing that is always
I don't think
hard.
there's ever an answer to be like, oh, we are totally fine. Balance. Like, no, there's never anyone I've ever met working with a spouse like, oh, it's perfect. Lovely.
Yeah.
Love it so much.
Totally.
But I feel like, so just so anyone's listening too, when they're going into a business with spouse, do you guys have your own individual jobs, right? As far as who's doing what. So what do you do, Sam, for the company? Yeah.
So I'm more on the business management side, a lot of just kind of cover all the administrative tasks. I'm communicating with all of our clients, answering all the emails, sending all the invoices, handling the taxes, which was terrifying this year. I was like, please, accountant, help me. Shout out to YouTube also. But yeah, just kind of helping us stay on track, on schedule, organized. And also, like, I do work more on a part-time schedule because again, we have 2 kids and I would say too, when it comes to the balance side of things.
You have another job.
We have another, yes. There's another job.
A harder
next
job.
To this.
Yes.
It's true. It's true. But I think part of the balance kind of question, back to that, like it's been really nice for me to be able to work more on a part-time basis with the company. And then I have a lot more time with my kids now than I used to with my other job. And so that really actually helps, I think, a lot with our balance, because I'm available a lot more.
But you're also contributing that way to the company, because a happy home, a balanced home, then goes out to you guys to whatever you're doing outside of that, right? So I think that's the core main job right there, I feel like, as a mother. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yes. And so saying part-time, I love it, but really you're like overtime right now.
Yeah, she's working multiple jobs.
So this is my favorite question. I really wanted to ask this. Okay. What are your strengths as individuals, you think, that then complement each other with business and personally too?
Ooh. Okay, so I think
I know you guys didn't think I was coming up with these questions, did I?
We're like, is this therapy?
I just want people to know, like, too, I mean, you can work with your spouse. You really can. I mean, I've heard so many people like, how do you do that? How do you work with Josh? Oh my God. Can you imagine working with Josh all day long? And I'm like, but you can. If you really need to or want to or whatever the reason is, it can happen and you can do it successfully. So that's why I'm asking these questions because you're married for a reason. There's something about you individually that complements each other together and professionally. Right.
Yeah.
So I think, so I'm a dreamer. I come to Sam with 10 new business ideas every day or 10 new ideas of what we can do every day.
I can see that. Yeah.
It's taxing and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's just like my husband. Don't worry.
I'm used to it.
So I always will come with new ideas of what to do. I always think they're wonderful. And then Sam has a very good sense of what will work and what won't work. Or, hey, just keep spinning your wheels and then you'll come back to reality soon. So she's over the years, I think, has gotten really good at knowing when to either shut down an idea or just say, oh, that's really cool. Or like, oh, that's really good.
Let you down very easily.
Yeah, she knows how to balance that well.
Yes.
Because usually by the next day, I'm like, oh, those ideas were actually pretty bad. You shouldn't do those things. And so I think she's more realistic, level-headed, like, here's what we need to do today. So let's focus on those things. And then I get my head caught up in the clouds. Well, not the clouds, but the island that we can live on once this business idea that I have works out. And it doesn't actually.
That's another thing he says a lot. He's like, let's dream for a minute.
Oh, wow. And you're like, oh, okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would say too, like that's a huge strength that he has too, because honestly, I don't think that we would be doing this. Like we would even be here today talking to you, talking about doing this if he hadn't been dreaming about what was possible. And so I think it's like, it's one of those things where sometimes I'm like, whoa. So like idea fatigue. I'm just like, there's so much in that brain. But then also I think it's just like a massive strength as well. And then I think like you mentioned too, like I have honed in my kind of trying to help him navigate through logistically what would some of these ideas, what would it take to actually make some of these ideas happen?
Yes.
As you kind of like look at the full picture. But then also I think, you know, I've had to rein it in sometimes and I think I'm still learning this of how to not shut down an idea right away just because I'm like, we can't do that. Think of all the other things we have to do.
You're right.
And so I think it's kind of like, it's very much a give and take. And I think some of the things that we have that are our biggest strengths, I think also can be hindrances if we let it go off the rails. But I think it's just kind of that give and take, push and pull, whatever you want to call it.
Because you don't want those dreams to go away. You want to try to make them come true as much as possible. So I love that. And you're being so supportive too and all that. And that's kind of why you're doing what you're doing now, right? So,
and I think initially what like attracted us to each other when we first started dating each other was like, I was a dreamer and you were like secure and you were like steady. And so I think that like just made us really compatible as like a couple. And so having that in our business, I think is also just an
I love that you say that because I feel like I meet a lot of couples in business together and one's always the dreamer and the other's support and it always works out. I mean, it's working. It's been working out for Josh and I the same because he's the same and goes nuts with all these ideas. And I'm like, calm down. But I want to make sure he can achieve it too, or we can. So I totally understand that. With work and life, because you're so busy now and you're new business owners, feeling that growth, feeling how much you're just growing. How do you set your boundaries? What are your boundaries?
We're still figuring that out.
Yeah. Still. I mean, I know a lot of new business owners want to do it all.
Yeah.
And then that can also be a not so good thing. Have you guys learned that yet? As far as like, we just can't do everything. We need to like shut it off at this time. And
we were actually just talking about this the other week of like, there's identifying what clients need and how we can actually support them. Because now we're talking about, okay, we're going to have to start hiring staff and we're going to have to start like trusting projects with other people. And so, figuring out like it actually does a disservice to people if we have all these meetings with them and then can't actually support what they want, whether or not like it's going to be too expensive for them or it's not quite in the scope of what we want to do. And so identifying the types of clients that we're talking to about stuff or being able to refer people to say, hey, like we can't we can't support you on that, but here's some other people we love working with that can help you with stuff. We're starting to do that more now, which is healthy for us because we're not saying yes to everything. Which
are you guys feeling a little burnout yet, or anything like? Okay, because a lot of what I've experienced for myself with our business was, I mean, we were growing so much, and I felt like I need to sustain this, you know, and I want the growth, but I have to make changes in order for us to grow positively that way. And so I know you guys are so successful right now too, maybe feeling the same a little bit too. So, recognizing that early on is super important for sure. Yeah.
I think we're definitely, trying to find that balance and working towards that.
Yeah. I think that is definitely the kind of season of our business that we're in right now, is like, how do we grow and scale in like a healthy way, in a way where we can continue this, but also make sure that all of our clients, like we're making sure that we're doing all the things that our clients need, and we're partnering with them in the best way. And just, that's definitely the season that we're navigating right now. Is like, how do we continue to grow and make this like sustainable for us?
Right.
So
setting those boundaries, making the proper changes in your business that you need to help you get through it is super important. I only say this out loud right now. So again, if there's someone probably listening in the same boat. I've talked to so many business owners, small business owners, especially, that are like important to our economy. I mean, small business is, but the biggest issue is we're growing so fast, and then they just can't do it anymore and shutting down because it's like, it's not worth it. I don't want to own my own business anymore. And it's like, that's too bad, because we need small businesses, and we need businesses out there with these services, whatever it is, to help us, help our community. So, recognizing when you're feeling, you know, this is, you know, we need to make some changes is super important. Even if just investing a little bit to make those changes, we'll come back to you 10 times for sure. So outside of business, because you're so busy, what are some habits that you guys do to get you connected outside of business to your personal wants and needs to help you grow? Yeah. Do you guys do anything like that you like to do?
Well, I'm a reader. Okay. I'm a big reader. So there are times when I probably read more than I should be reading, because I love that. Need to get back to emails.
There's never enough. Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I think too, like, as we've talked about having young kids, like one of the, I don't know, draws to me, you know, quitting my job last year and doing this full time with Brian is, okay, we can probably spend a bit more time like as a family, with me not, you know, commuting as much and being able to support the business. And I think that's really been the case. We, you know, our kids are so full of energy, and we are very exhausted at the end of every day. But I think just being able to spend time as a family a lot more over these months that we've been doing this has been amazing.
Oh yeah.
And then, for me, I mean, just reading is like a huge passion of mine. So that's where
your outlet.
Definitely.
Love that.
I don't know if you know this. A little fun fact about me.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, let's do it.
I'm kind of an amateur baker. I love baking things. Okay. And I think part of the reason why I like it is it was actually kind of a stress relief for me during COVID. I started to learn like sourdough and all that stuff. And there's something about baking where it's very precise and you can't rush it, and you have to like take your time with it. And so it sort of forces you to take time when you bake. And so I've been baking for 4 or 5 years now.
Sometimes it's a problem because you're like, we have so much bread.
No, wait, maybe it's another small business. I don't know.
No. Yeah, no. I think that would ruin
Snohomish bread company coming.
But yeah, and so that's a little rhythm that I have. Probably like once or twice a week.
I love that. I have a lot of friends that bake bread, and they do it to just for stress relief.
Totally.
And they do it, and I'm like, bring it on over.
And when you need the dough, you're like pounding on the dough. And so it's a little bit of, violent.
And the end result is like, I did this.
Right.
It's so good. I know. And I have a lot of friends that do it because the outcome is, it makes them happy. Like, I did this and it tastes good, and everyone around me is happy.
I know. I was going to say, it makes your family and friends happy.
Yes. So I'm okay. I'm going to expect some bread. No. Okay. That's awesome. Well, so as a couple, and what's a proud moment or a major win for you both you've shared as business partners so far?
Ooh. question. There's
I'm trying
been
to ask
several.
these really good questions for these special guests here.
I know. I feel like there's been several. I think that it just always is such an exciting moment. Like whenever we like hear back from a couple that they like want to work with us for their wedding day, or like we've been doing a lot more locally with different events and different things going on, and like just being able to like know that we're here, we're a part of our community, and we're like helping to impact. Cause it's like, I don't know, maybe some people could see it as like, oh, Brian's just there with the camera and walking around and stuff. But like, this is like really investing in our community, because all of these videos that he's creating is helping to, you know, put eyeballs on Snohomish, especially specifically. And then people are like, oh, wow, this is cool. Like all the community events that they're doing, how they're being involved in like helping the nonprofits in the area and everything. And so I think it's just like exciting whenever we get to do something that like we know is going to be impactful. And I know that's kind of like a broad answer, but
no. And I, honestly, in my point of view, you're also inspiring other people. And I feel inspired when I see what you're doing, because you're doing things that are helping the community, like you said. So that's something you should also be super proud of, because people are being inspired by just the little snippets you guys share on social media. It's like, that is so cool. You know, I want to go there. And so you really are helping the community in that way too. Yeah.
I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think we did a video project for the city of Snohomish a couple months ago, and that really meant a lot to be able to get selected for that project. Being able to really like lift up it was purely just about how the city partners with the residents and with the businesses and with the nonprofits in the community. And it was just really cool to be able to meet with these businesses and interview them and tell the story of like this past year in Snohomish. That was a really fun project. And then just being like, I don't know, being trusted by the community is really big for me. Like knowing that, helping people to know that we're like for the city, we're for the town. We want it to see it, you know, do well and grow and do it in the right ways, I think is just something that we want to be involved with, because it's also where we live and where our kids are. And so, yeah.
What you're bringing, I can tell too, is that the city of Snohomish, how they're portraying the city is really with a lot of care and a lot of intentional values and morals as far as how they want to take the city and the people and the community here. And so I think a lot of people are resonating with Snohomish right now because of that. That's why it's so busy. I mean, farmers markets, small businesses, what you're doing to show that is really showcasing the city. And I only say that out loud again is because I hope any other city would hear this, that it's not, you know, I know maybe you don't think this is a valuable thing to do and hire a film company like yours to showcase, but it is. It really is. I mean, showing what everyone's doing around here and all of that. I think that you guys really helped the city of Snohomish come out and show what they have. And so I've been a part of a lot of organizations all over, and I feel like the city of Snohomish has really built something super, super special. And the fact that you're part of that really shows, you know, what's happening around here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So what advice would you give other couples if you're thinking about going into a business together? Any just short advice?
I think that, and I know this was definitely my perspective. Like I had a lot of like, what if it doesn't work? Like starting this business in general. But then also, I mean, even though we've worked together a ton, there's still like can we actually do this together? Like this is different than what we've done before. But I think it's just, you don't know how something is going to turn out if you don't just give it a try.
Just do it.
And so I would say like between the two of us, I had a lot more fear and hesitation of like, should we actually do this? Especially like when this was like our sole source of income. Like
I was just going to say that that's a real feeling. Same. Putting all your eggs in one basket is not easy.
Yeah. And I would say too, especially if like one person is more of the dreamer and then there's another one that might be able to see things in a different way, that's really going to help as well. Like in all aspects of the business, it might cause you to butt heads a decent amount, but I think that's really important to have two people who can see things in different ways and from different perspectives, because you really need that in order to be able to grow and succeed.
Yeah. And if you're going to go in it together, you have to be in it together, not just whenever I want you. You both have to be committed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We've both have had therapy in our lives, and that's also really helped us. I think the biggest advice I would give to a couple who wants to start a business is like communicate. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to say why something made you feel a certain way, because that will like allow you to get through a lot of the bumps that happen when you're running a business. Is like, hey, when you said this way, it made me feel this way. Is that like how you feel? Or, you know, being able to do that quickly is the best way to like help you move on and not sit in those bumps or arguments or misunderstandings along the way. And so, you know, I went to therapy for about a year, and then Sam still meets with someone, and it just helps us communicate. And it's not like a bad thing. No, it's like a healthy thing. I've been in therapy
for years. Yeah. It's just a good outlet for me. That's my outlet, you know, and how to communicate.
It gives you tools.
Everyone. Yeah. And I really honestly love that you said that, because it's when I was talking to Josh about working together too, and we were started, I'm like, but respectfully, I'm your coworker too, right? Like I'm not your wife here in the office. I am your coworker, and we have to remind ourselves, would we talk to our office staff this way, or would we argue with them? Or, you know, we're not at home, we're not putting our feet on the table. Like, you know, we actually have to be professional. And so that's a great reminder too, when you're working together, that keep it also very professional in the office when you can. So if you could go back, and I have a couple more questions. If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice when you started, what would it be?
Do it sooner.
Yeah. Don't wait.
Don't wait. Yeah. I mean, I learned a ton in my previous roles and things like that prepared us for owning a business. But I was like, man, why was I so scared? Like, we should have just jumped in sooner, because then we would have gained a few extra years in starting this business earlier. So, yeah.
I think something, and this is like a common conversation that we have, like, because especially when you're running a business, and one that's like very project based, like ours, sometimes you can hit these different points of the month or the year or whatever, where it feels like things are slowing down, or like, or like, oh, are we gonna have enough work, you know, coming up soon in the coming months? And something that has like happened time and time again is like, because of the time that we have spent investing in relationships and in the community around, like things always come up. Like it, just when you think, and this happens all the time, where Brian will look at the calendar and he'll be like, we don't have a lot of like shoots coming up or whatever. And I'm like, just wait. Literally within 24 hours, we have 3 new jobs coming down the pipeline, and we're like scrambling to be like, and so I think that that's just something that has time and time again has just been like, invest in the relationships, like go to the chamber meetings, be a part of the groups, like meet people for coffee. Like, even if you're meeting with someone, like just have those conversations, because like you just don't know in a month, 3 months, a year from now, like how those conversations and those relationships are going to turn into opportunities. So I think that that's a big thing that we've like realized, and has been really awesome.
Yeah. It's been super helpful. So one last thing, what's next for your brand, your business? What's coming?
We've got some exciting things that are in the works.
Yeah. And I say brand because you guys are brand too. Yeah, I mean, you are. Yeah.
So the next thing that I'm having a lot of conversations about is helping marketing agencies produce advertisements or commercials to then put onto streaming platforms or TV ads or things like that. And so I'm having multiple conversations right now about doing some commercials for local businesses, which would be really, really fun. And that's kind of the next evolution of our business. We'll obviously need probably a bigger space if we start doing more commercial work, but will be the next step in the future. But I think that's the big next thing for us.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, we're really excited about the potential of that. And I think just kind of like at this point, we are just constantly like in that growth mindset of like, okay, what could be next? And I'm getting better at dreaming too. Yeah. I'm like, it's rubbing off on me a little bit, you know, like, awesome. Oh, what if this, what if that? Yeah. So I think, we're looking forward to maybe more of those opportunities, and then just like, I don't know, dreaming about continued growth and where that takes us next. And, but still having just such a heart for this community specifically and wanting to stay local. Yeah. That's a huge thing for us, is wanting to stay local.
Yeah. We named it Snohomish Film Company because we wanted to be in Snohomish County.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say before we end it is that, I really appreciate you both for bearing with me too, in our schedules. Absolutely. But it really, since I've started working with you guys, I've had so many comments of how good my film has been since we started, how it really touches people, but also our podcast looks so professional and so done well. And I just have to say that out loud. If anyone is thinking in the local area to do a podcast, this is the place to do it, because I did think I could do I could do it myself, but this is so good. It looks so good the way you do it, the way you edit it. So I feel like if anyone is thinking about doing a podcast, really invest in it, because you want it to sound and look good. And, you know, it's going on platforms. You want it to go on.
It's representing your brand.
It's representing your brand. And, you know, and you guys really help navigate the confidence in doing it too, because it's not easy doing a podcast and staring at a camera and oh my gosh.
You make it look easy, Rhea.
Oh, I do. I don't feel it. But you guys really help with that too. So I wanted to say that out loud to anyone listening, that to invest in this, you really should invest in someone that's good and knows what they're doing, and you guys know what you're doing. So
thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for coming on. And
absolutely.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.